Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 427. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Gloria. What's up, Gloria?
Hey, everybody.
What's going on? So I hope everybody saw Listen yesterday. I actually finally got to see it last night.
You're freezing up.
I'll send my opinion towards the end.
Okay.
What'd you think of it?
Well, I loved it. It was very creepy. I love the way it was so creepy. I just, I now want to look under my bed from now on.
I know.
It was quite creepy. I love the whole feeling. It reminded me kind of a bit like about Night Terrors a little.
Right.
A tiny bit with her talking to little Rupert at the time, and kind of helping him through that little fear and all that. It was so adorable. Right. And then the date was very. I liked how it kind of it showed a little bit more about his sensitivity and everything, showing his character, his backstory more about why he's so sensitive about it, about what he went through as a soldier and stuff, and then also not only that, but his backstory as a child. We now know that he must have been adopted and everything, so he's in a children's home. Also like that he changed his name, used the name that he named his little toy and everything.
Right,
and,
that was
yeah. Also, Clara, she was awesome in this character. I mean, this episode. I don't know whether or not I kind of like that it kind of went and had it be her that kind of made him, the end with the spoilers, with it being him as a child in Gallifrey, crying.
Right.
I like that she was there to comfort him, but a lot of people I've read so far, comments about people that don't like the idea of her being so, involved in his time stream and stuff. I mean, I for one thing, don't understand about why the TARDIS took them to see Danny's past instead of her own.
Well, I guess she got distracted.
Yeah. But, I mean, even if she got distracted, I mean, why go to his past instead of hers? I mean, I understand that maybe if, the future, she's going to be connected with him in some way because of Orson and everything, but his past, though, it's before they got, before they met. So it's like how, I guess the TARDIS knew to kind of help the Doctor figure out what he's trying to figure out, they had to go there or whatever. And also I'm wondering why the TARDIS wouldn't let her go right away when she was trying to pull her hand out. And
yeah, that was interesting.
Hug it to get it out, So it's like, oh, that was kind of creepy. I mean, not creepy in that part, but I mean the whole thing about the under the bed.
It was a pretty scary episode. I mean, the creature in the bed. I mean, that could be terrifying. And then in the future, like whatever came through the door, and the thing was that you never found out what that was.
Yeah, we never got
the whole
to see what it looked like either. I don't even think Steven would know what it looked like. I mean,
it reminded me of Midnight when
knocking.
You know what I'm saying? You got to see that something made him terrified.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he wasn't really terrified because he wanted to see what it was, so he was ready to take it on.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened when the TARDIS kept zapping out. I don't know if anything was done to him. Anything was done to him by the alien. I mean, we don't know that if anything was done to him. The Doctor, like they did something to him, altered him. So, I just really loved it.
Yeah. Also, the fact that the Orson Pink character reminded me. I mean, you know how he's crashed on that.
Yes.
The planet at the end of the universe. It kind of reminded me of the whole crashing of a spaceship or whatever. Made me think of Salem of the Daleks. How
that's what I thought too for some reason.
Alaska.
I don't know why. Yes,
yeah.
I thought right away of her Starship Alaska.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Like what?
So I don't know. I mean, that was
interesting
too that you had the same.
Yeah, like what if they're trying to make it like I was wondering, of course, maybe he is like a relation to Danny Pink, but maybe since Danny Pink's supposed to be becoming a like a companion and everything, and he said about his grandparents, but maybe he's just saying that as a cover up. Maybe he is a
Right.
future Danny, just like pretending to be, in because he's a time traveler too. And
That's another thing. They don't explain how he
this
is.
about it.
They don't explain how he's a time traveler.
Yeah.
They said that and then why is he packing unless he knows he's going to go back?
Yes. So it's like it's weird, and like maybe there's some weird like impossible Danny kind of like instead of the impossible girl, maybe there's a little bit more to do with like the impossible boy. Like maybe he's being scattered throughout, and we're seeing different versions of him too. Like one fan said that, I'm like, I didn't think about it until then. I'm like, because they're like, there's that parallel with the crash of his spaceship and everything,
Right.
and maybe he's an echo of Danny. I don't know. And
see, the thing is, like, what I don't understand is when they talk about the end, like the far future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does this got to be one planet left? I don't understand. If the universe is expanding, right?
Yeah.
That means at certain points of the universe are ceasing to be, while others exist. So why would it come down to the whole entire universe is down to one planet? Wouldn't there constantly be new planets, and it would be a never-ending thing? Like, I don't understand why all of the planets are destroyed, nobody's alive, but one planet. I mean, I like the episode a lot, but this is very similar to Utopia, where they said there was one planet left, and there was that darkness that was it wasn't even the Toglophane. It was they were scared of the darkness. So maybe again, this is the same darkness from Utopia,
the future kind,
where they were afraid of that. They made them into those Toglophane orbs. They put the people into those orbs because there must be something going on. This has got to be connected to Utopia, where it's the last planet, and everything, because they were at the end of time already with David Tennant's episode in Utopia. They were the next planet, asteroid or whatever. That's got to be connected to that, and it's got to be connected to Midnight too, where it was purely terrifying. He didn't know how to solve it. There was like a creature. So I like the fact that we didn't get to see them because it makes it much more interesting for a future story.
Yeah, and we may even revisit this baddie on this episode, the creature.
Yeah.
Because it was already brought. It seems to me like it's the same creature that's in Midnight because of the
It appears to be, but I don't know though. Yeah.
It could just be a
what's up, Mike D?
that is knocking.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
yeah,
Michael.
we were just talking that this episode has a lot of similarities to Midnight, to Utopia, because Utopia was the end of time, the last planet they were going to go to, and that they were turned into Toglophane, and they were afraid of the darkness. The darkness is coming, the darkness. So I think, honestly, this is a continuing story from Russell T's era that Moffat talked about, that's connected with Peter Capaldi's Many Faces that he's revisiting. I think that the whole thing about the darkness and then heaven and all that stuff, I think it's related to Russell T Davis's storyline back in the day with the Midnight and Utopia and all that stuff. What do you think, Mike D?
Who wrote Midnight?
Oh, shame on me. I'm not sure. But I know Russell T Davis had a hand
Do we
in
need
it.
to employ Google here on this? Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah,
I don't
you wanna
know.
look
I mean, that could very well be. I really love the whole concept of the episode. I think it was great that, as you say, they didn't show the creature, as it were, and
right.
I thought it was really cool how they were dealing with all the time variables and things going on, and of course, we get to see John Hurt's War Doctor briefly in that, and just overall, I think that this was the best episode of the whole season so far.
I do too, and it's hard. I gave a couple ratings of 10 out of 10, but this is again a 10 for me. I mean, I'm very
Well,
happy with the last three, to
and
tell you the
if
truth. And I
I'm
like
not,
Deep Breath too, but it's yeah.
I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, Orson Pink is wearing that orange spacesuit that we see the Doctor in some of the photos from an episode coming up, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we're going to be going back to that same
Right.
station,
Yeah.
several episodes from now, and they're going to revisit that, and we're going to get some more answers about what's going on. So
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I rated higher ratings, 10 out of 10. I mean, I think even beyond if I could, because the whole the whole thing about the Doctor, his childhood. I like all that stuff, but the only thing I don't like is that, and I love Clara as a character. I just don't like it that situation where she's the ultimate companion.
Yeah.
She's the one that introduced him to the TARDIS. She's the one that stopped the Time War. She's the one that made him be the Doctor. I don't like that. I mean, I wanted it
that's why I don't think she's going
again to be about the Doctor.
Yeah. One fan said once on a comment since the episode last night, said, "What is this? A Clara Who? Not Doctor Who?" I'm like, oh my. They didn't
That's why I don't think Claire's going to be around for too much longer, because they've pretty much run through her whole
they're
thing.
using her as a plot device a lot of times.
I think they're wrapping up her story kind of to coincide with Danny Pink, and she's probably going to, I would say, probably disappear probably at the end of the season or not soon thereafter. So
Something happened.
And actually, that's that really is, we've heard some people giving 10s to every episode, 10s are just kind of tossed around, indiscriminately.
I know you're going to come on me for that. I know you're going to come hard on for me for that, but
what do you mean?
I don't.
No, actually, quite contrary.
See, the thing is, I don't usually give 10s unless I actually believe that it's a 10. And for me, I could watch Into the Dalek all the time. I could watch Robot of Sherwood all the time, and listen, I could watch every week too. If it's an episode where I can't constantly watch it, enjoyment-wise, then I don't give it a 10. But this is I think the season's shaping up amazingly where I am giving them 10s.
I think 10. I think Listen is a 10 because it's a classic. I mean, you can't.
Right.
I think 10s have to be rare by definition. So
right, but I think to me, I like Robot because it's funny, and I give it a 10. Into the Dalek, I see it as like one of the most fantastic Dalek stories. Okay, there's reasons why I gave it a 10. Deep Breath, I gave it an 8, but I still loved it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I don't know if I'm going to be able to give any more episodes a 10, but ultimately I'm enjoying the season. I'm really enjoying the season a lot.
I gotta sorry, there may be a delay on my end.
There is on my end too.
I wanted to tell you Donald Trump watched it too, and he told me that he gave it a 10. So we both enjoyed watching it. Inside joke. Sorry.
I didn't know he was a fan, but okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to enjoy Time Heist, but I don't think I'm going to give it a 10. But we'll have to wait and see. I could be surprised. And I really, what the thing is, too, now that Episode 5 is going to be coming on next week, the other episodes, to me, are pretty much a surprise, because if you remember, when they leaked the scripts, there was the first 5, and then the videos they leaked, there was the first 5. And then, I read the whole complete one for Deep Breath, and I read some snippets here and there, and then when I read the thing about Listen, I stopped. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to ruin the whole thing for me. So I probably will enjoy the next. I didn't really know too much about the next episode because I stopped myself from reading it. So I think I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this even more this season. And I think that this the one thing I don't like is I don't like how they're making him, because he's old, like he's a little crazy, like he's doing crazy things. Like, I mean, when he regenerates, it's a different story. I mean, I understand. I get the chalkboard. That's his, thing, and I like his interaction with Clara. He just was going to show up in her room so nothing would happen with her date. That's pretty funny. But he's getting a little batty with the, talking to himself and
protective over
what if
her.
this, what if that? Yeah, what if this, what if that? Like, I mean, you could basically make an argument for anything. So I'm hoping that the scripts and everything are just focusing on different type of elements of his personality and his.
I love the.
I do get that they're close.
Not the hug. I love when
I like that.
Like,
I like the no hugging thing. The no hugging policy, right? Yeah. I want to see how he interacts with Danny Pink. That's what I'm really looking forward to now, because I think he's gonna flip when he finds out that she didn't tell him that he was the date, and then he's like, "Oh my God, I could have altered this or altered that or something," So, but they promoted that whole him yelling at her like it was. I don't like that they promoted it like he's screaming at her, and you get a whole different idea about his doctor. But he only did that to save her life.
The whole thing in context, it feels different. Seeing the whole thing in context compared to what they showed, because
I don't think they should have promoted that.
He just had to, because she kept on saying, "I'm not leaving without you," and he's like, just do as you're told, and she went, and then she called him idiot, and he's like, I know.
See, I like that. I like that, but I don't like that they advertised it like a little teaser trailer, like he's yelling at her, because I think that's posting him in a negative light as a doctor, and people who are having a problem with him, they're promoting a dark, nasty doctor. They don't post the trailers where he's nice and funny and everything. So I think the people who are getting the teaser trailers together need to get their the different sides of his personality rather than just a dark, nasty, cold doctor, because that's not what he really is.
Because what if someone was put off by it, just by that little bit that you saw in it? That's terrible.
William Hartnell was crotchety, though. I mean, the Doctor has his moments.
No, I know, but they didn't have back then. They didn't do trailers like they do now. I mean, the person's seen the whole trailer. I don't know.
It's no. I mean,
If you're a fan of Doctor Who, you're not going to let somebody stop you from watching it.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
I know you're going to watch it. I know.
I think it's more the fact. See, it's not that he's being mean. He's being resolute, and people, as we very clearly have noticed, especially of late, miscommunicate, and they don't understand the difference between, anger and hatred, and somebody who's just being resolute, which is what he was doing. Is he was like, hey, get back in the TARDIS now.
Right. Well, he wanted to protect her. That's the whole thing, because he felt that her life was in danger, and if he died, he could regenerate. So that's the whole thing. I mean, he knows he can regenerate.
He's trying to protect her.
Right. That's what he wants.
Somewhere safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, again, I think that the next episode, I mean, the budget looks like it was upped. Don't you agree? I mean, I look at the budget for time highs for what I'm seeing. I mean, it looks like they spent some money on these episodes, like really.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to be like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This is cool.
I got to tell you about Danny Pink. I thought he was just going to be like some sort of like, like whatever, sort of character. But I actually like Danny Pink's character.
I did too.
I would actually like to see him travel with the Doctor. Maybe for a short time or something.
I do.
And just the two of them,
actually. I don't know if yeah, I would like to see some type of respect going on with that, Absolutely. Gloria, what do you think, what did you give the episode?
This one, a 10, because I liked it.
What would you give it, Mike D? I'm sorry, Gloria, go ahead.
I didn't get to really vote for the previous episodes, the robots for Sherwood, because I got really busy, so I didn't get to be any where we actually rated it. So I think robots and Sherwood, I think that one was for me an 8. No, okay. 9. Because it was hilarious.
The problem with for some reason when I went to do a podcast on Robot of Sherwood, people, people working people.
Yeah.
Or out with families. I had to do multiple podcasts sometimes to get people's opinions. because I can't get everybody here at the same time. Just like on the weekend, like we'll be doing more podcasts on Listen for the people that can't be here in the morning or afternoon. Well, we're in the afternoon now, but yeah. So I mean, I don't even remember that I didn't get your opinion on robots. It was somebody else I missed too. I'm sorry, Gloria.
We did do a podcast, and we talked about it a little. We kind of touched upon it and stuff, but then others, you know, we got to, you know, another subject about it and everything. So I didn't really rate it, but I did talk about it. I just didn't rate it. So there you go. A 9 and 10.
I don't want to leave anybody out.
I know, it's okay.
I'm sorry. So I think Time Heist is going to be different, and that's what I like, the diversity of the season. It's very different each episode. They go from, you know, dark to like, you know, I mean, Into the Dalek was right away. You have a Dalek story, which I was against at first, but then I was like, okay, this fit, and I think that Time Heist I'm going to enjoy. I don't know too much about... What's the one after that? Caretaker? Not sure. I got to look into it and see what the next episodes are set up. So, Mike D, so are you happy with what they're doing with Clara, or are you comfortable, like Moffat's, like the way he's doing the scripts with Clara, or do you think that they need to back off with her basically doing all the massive things in the show, like basically, you know, giving her too... I mean, am I wrong? I know some people don't like that she's becoming too much, I don't know, what's the word?
Too prominent.
Yeah, like in other words, it's Doctor Who, not Clara Who, right? I mean, it's just she's becoming more of the main character than the Doctor. I mean, when are we gonna like?
Well, it's probably
shift
like
that
when people.
a little bit
It's
and
like
stop.
when people,
She doesn't have to be the impossible girl all the time. She doesn't have to be the ultimate.
Oh, he froze up.
yeah, you froze
Yeah.
up on him.
It's just it's not necessary. I mean, she's a good character in her own right. They don't need to be so, you know, involved in the history.
I know. That's what bothers me a little. I mean, I like her. I got it. I accept her. Don't make me not like her. Don't make me like, oh my God. I don't want to hear like, oh, her and Danny kids, and then those future descendants become the Time Lords, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that she's responsible for something else, and that she's connected with this one and that one. Let's just go on, do the mystery of Doctor Who those creatures were, revisit that at some point, do the things, but don't stop throwing Clara in the middle of everything. Like
I wonder why they're doing.
I don't want that. I'm giving it a 10, but it's like you're forcing her on us. Like I don't like the forcing of the character on it.
Why they're doing it? Like, what are they trying to achieve with?
I would be. You know what would be cool to see? If all these things that she's doing is not the outcome you think. If like by her talking to the Doctor when he was young, it didn't create this timeline. It created a completely different timeline where just because of her interference wasn't there before, there's another Doctor. There's another timeline. He's a war general or something. I mean, imagine like if it's just taken another way, where like the whole thing with all her interaction with him, like it's creating multiple timelines or something. Imagine that. Like, what if it wasn't the positive effect? What if she's not just meant to, something else happened that she interfered with? That's the whole point. Like, I don't want that to be why he became the Doctor, why he chose the TARDIS, why he didn't, you know. You mean to tell me because she didn't say anything, he decided not to kill all those people? Like, I mean, I don't like that.
Someone said that, is that why he has a no-gun policy? Like, because of the little toy soldier it has no gun.
We'll use guns. There will be regenerations so different. There will be incarnations that will embrace it. You know, like, I'm just saying, like, it's just, I don't know. It's very tricky. What do you say, Mikey?
Well, going back a
I
couple
don't
of
know if he's
minutes when you were
frozen.
talking about
Frozen too.
Clara's. Can you hear me?
Google's acting a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mikey. Go
Okay,
ahead.
cool. I was saying, going back a couple of minutes ago, as far as addressing the
Barely.
prominent. Let me drop out. I'll come back in.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I also about why the doctor was able or isn't a. I mean, he doesn't remember her saying what she said to him. You know,
Yeah, that's
like, he
weird.
remembers it because he repeated it, but
I think he did at the
remember
end.
that her the one that told him, or someone told
I
him?
think he did at the end. I think he did at the end. I think he did.
Uh,
Oh, okay. I think that's why it was the face was like, yeah, that's it. I think he did. That's what I think.
that stuff he
I
was
honestly
talking
think he
about.
knows.
That stuff he was talking about at the end when he was talking to Clara inside the spaceship before she went, before they went. He was talking about the end of the world and everything, or in the universe. I mean, and someone said on a comment about like possibly the silence because he was talking about it being quiet and everything.
Right.
That there's no sound and everything, and they're like thinking that about the prophecy, the old prophecy, the silence will fall when the question is asked and everything. They say,
Right.
could there be a possibility that that prophecy was carried on over to the next this
I
season?
think that's done. I think the
Yeah.
whole thing with the silence is done.
Yeah,
I think
so
that's.
too.
I think that the running
They're just
storyline from
grasping
season
straws, but
1, 2, 3, 4 about the darkness is continuing. But I think that the silence will fall when the question is asked. I think that was done. And
yeah,
naming the doctor and
but the one thing that
transforming the time of the doctor. Yeah, I think that's done.
yeah.
Mike, are you back?
Yeah. Am I
Okay.
coming through?
Yeah, I want. Yeah, what's your opinion on Clara having too much?
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on. Was going back a couple of minutes ago as far as addressing Clara's prominence in this series. I think they did it right back in Sylvester McCoy's era, where they had Ace like a storyline with her going throughout that one season, where like the Doctor was still the prominent character, but you had Ace like his like a story arc kind of running through that one series with Sylvester McCoy.
Right.
Clara, I don't think they're like overdoing it like too badly. But they do need to kind of rein it in a little bit, make it a little bit more about the Doctor, because it's like, hey, okay, we get it. There's a new Doctor. Let's start making it more about him now, and where he's just not like some. It's almost like the Doctor's being a little bit more of a companion to Clara, and like he's kind of
Yeah,
like,
I don't
he's
like
just.
that.
It's like he's her chauffeur, and he's just kind of showing up and taking her places.
I don't like that. I don't like that. That's the whole point. I want. It's one thing to tell it again. Talk. I don't like that.
Do you think they're trying to ease maybe like?
I don't know what he's trying to do, Moffat. I just don't want this no more.
Actually,
I want
I'm
like
kind
him to just do his. God, we're on lag time. I'm on lag time now.
Go ahead, Mike D. You were saying?
Yeah, Mike.
Sorry, there must be a delay on somebody's end. I apologize.
It's on my time now.
Yeah, I was just going to say. I mean, I've liked. Sure. I liked Clara in the series, but I'm ready for her to go. I mean, I'd rather see like somebody like let's get a male companion in there, and we keep having all these girls in there.
Yeah.
So let's have a little bro camaraderie, between the Doctor, kind of like Jamie and the second Doctor, and just have them get into stuff, like with adventures out there, blowing up stuff and everything else, and fighting the evil, instead of having all this. Like the Doctor escorting Clara to like dates in her bedroom, having chats with her about how her evening date went and stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to have a male, main male companion, where it's just, so that the promotion. Can you imagine the promoting? It'd be like posters of the Doctor with a male companion. It would be so different, refreshing, like kind of new. Either that, or I also really liked. Osgood. I was actually hoping that that she might be the next companion and stuff, but that's of course that's my fangirling, my head canon. I wish I want. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be kind of new to have something like have a new male companion. So it's like a change, a little bit of a change, a refreshing, so to speak, of the show. Everything, another refreshing, I should say.
Right.
Yeah. Have a.
We'll have to see what Clara's the old plan for Clara is. I just. Yeah, what I think we're gonna do. You guys are lagging. Something's wrong with the Google connection. I think we're gonna have to end this now, only because I can't. We're not syncing up correctly, and.
Yeah. Probably for the best, and this since we're not syncing up. Okay, I'm just gonna drop out. He's froze up. He's froze up.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm gonna drop out, so maybe it will.
Yeah, he's probably going to be ending.
Okay,
like
let's
you
just
said,
talk until he gets to where he's talking again.
Oh, he's back. Hold on.
What was your favorite moment of the episode, Mikey?
Hmm.
Okay. I'm going to end this podcast because, again, Google kicked me out. But I'm going to end this podcast because the linking up is not, the connection is wrong. So,
Syncing.
yes, so I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Take care. Bye for now.